So, although the tropical storm warning has been dropped for the Treasure Coast now, it's still something to watch out for. We've also got a coastal flood advisory today, especially as high tide comes up early this afternoon. We could see more flooding along the coast, so that's something we'll watch for as well today. But Dorian is moving north. That's the best news for us. Not great news for folks in the Carolinas, as the storm is going to come very close to both South and North Carolina as a Category 2, maybe a Category 1 by the time it gets to North Carolina. Here is the latest track from the National Hurricane Center, keeping it a Category 2 as it continues to move up past Daytona Beach today and eventually up toward Georgia there. And then we get towards South Carolina as we get into early tomorrow morning. There's just a couple of outlying computer models that take it in along the coast of South Carolina as a landfall, which means the eye moves on shore in South Carolina. You can see only a sliver of the cone there. But look what happens when we get up to North Carolina. There's a lot more of the cone that is edged over onshore in North Carolina, and there are several computer models that at least take the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, across the Outer Banks of North Carolina before turning up to the north here as we get to the weekend toward Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So folks in the Carolinas really watching this carefully. I have relatives in South Carolina who are paying very close attention to this. Current winds. We're looking at winds that are sustained winds, which are winds that last a minute or more. In Vero Beach, 24-mile-per-hour winds, 23 in Fort Pierce right now, and then 10 to 15-mile-per-hour winds as you head down into Martin County and Palm Beach County. But it's the wind gusts that we're watching this morning that have been up very, very high. 36-mile-per-hour wind gusts just a few moments ago in Vero and in Sebastian and in Fort Pierce. 22-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Jupiter, and then 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts just a few moments ago in West Palm Beach. And by the way, it's going to be a windy day today. Winds will be about 20 to 30 miles per hour with some higher gusts possible. Here you see the tropical storm warning has been dropped for the Treasure Coast. It still is in place for the coastal waters of the Treasure Coast, though. So if you were thinking about, for some reason, doing some boating today, there's still a tropical storm warning out there, and not a great idea in any way, shape, or form. All right, we got those big rain bands coming down from the southern part of the circulation of Dorian. It's still edging to the north, and if you watch carefully, you'll see slowly this little shift lifting up to the north as Dorian moves away here. But at least for the next, I would say, it's 5:21 right now, I would say around 9, 10 o'clock this morning, the very tail end of this will start to really lift up through Indian River County, and then by the time we get to lunchtime today, pretty much all these rain bands will be well north of our area, but they're kind of moving from northwest to east. They have this curve right at the end here because of the motion of Dorian. And so this rainfall, I track some of the heaviest rain in the yellow and green right here. That could be in the Fort Pierce area at 542, Vero Beach at 551. You see down here Port St. Lucie and Stewart also with some rainfall. However, it is quiet in Palm Beach County right now. And if you take a look at Vipercast, you'll see those rain bands swinging through. Here's 8 a.m. A few more come on through around 11 a.m. But see how the storm lifts to the north there, and there's very little going on in our area after that. So the chance for rain actually goes from about 60% along the Treasure Coast this morning, a lot less in Palm Beach County, to everybody being at about 20% by this afternoon. And that's where we stay, 20% for Thursday and then into Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I just bumped it up a little bit to 30%. But look for some hot and very humid conditions for the rest of the week, and then slightly cooler as we get to Monday and Tuesday. By the way, during this whole ordeal, I know we haven't paid much attention to it, but our average high temperature went from 90 to 89 degrees, a sign that, well, fall is on the way sometime soon here.